All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Adam. This is Roman. This is Jawbreaker podcast, episode number 1. And so bear with us a little for this is our first time. So um, and it's a great weekend to start off. Fights UFC 246, return of Conor McGregor, of course. He faces off against Donald Cerrone in welterweight. Um, I thought first. Oh, by the way, we are with, of course, the SportsMarkAnalysts. Shout out SMA. So I thought we'd start out a little bit talking about the press conference that happened just yesterday. Um, I thought, it was actually a nice change to what we used to seeing, what we've seen from Connor lately. Um, Very cordial, a lot of handshakes. Uh, Even complimented Cowboy on his jacket. Um, it was different but nice. Um, it makes you think by watching like the interviews that Connor did. Um, you would think he's almost kind of changed his mood a bit. Uh, it almost seems like he's missed the sport. He's not in that toxic mindset anymore. And he's actually looking forward to coming back and putting on a show and being in front of the people. Um, yeah, what do you think?
Well, I honestly was not expecting Connor to come out being all cordial. It was a little bit of shock to me, but I think this press conference was pretty good for what it was. They were respectful. Uh, it's almost like Connor seemed he was focused. He wanted to be there. He was happy he's back, and I think that him being all polite to Cerrone, I think it's showing the good side of Connor. But don't get me wrong, I do think in the next press conference, if Connor was to win this fight, I think he'll be back to his old self, especially against Masvidal if that's who he wants to go with. Even after watching this press conference, I still am 50-50 about who I'm going to pick. And by the end of this show, I'll I'll make a decision, but I'm still up in the air about who I'm picking.
Yeah, it's like some people have thought to say like that what Connor's doing may be its own kind of mental game, mental warfare. By him being nice and cordial and just being a little different from what we've been used to seeing, without any trash talk really. That maybe he's just trying to get in Cowboy's head in his own way, in a different way. Um, but it does come off pretty genuine. And of course, you see Cowboy. Cowboy's just always Cowboy. He's just excited as hell. Wants to put on a show. He's making. He's definitely making his biggest payday thus far. So I'm sure he's happy about that. Maybe not like Connor, like the supposed 80 million that he said. Um, but he's definitely making a pretty penny. Um, so one thing, aside from the press conference, I also liked in Connor's interview with Ariel Hawani earlier in the week. Um, he really did actually going even before that. He had an interview with the Mac Life on there while he was like mid training. You could tell he was very extremely focused, hyped up. You could tell he was in the middle of something, some kind of training. He was very focused, very motivated. Um, he almost seems that hunger is like showing again. Something that hasn't really showed lately. I mean, once make all the money he has, he definitely doesn't need to do this anymore. He's made enough money, so at this point, he wants to do this. It seems like he wants to do this because he truly does love it, and I think he does. I mean, it doesn't hurt to get a little more money, of course, but I think he's actually enjoying the process again and just feeling like it feels natural to him. Now, also going back to the interview we had with Ariel, yeah, it was very he just seemed like he was at a totally different mindset. He you get like almost like a flashback of how he used to be, but still different. I think it was Connor's coach John Kavanaugh said that he wouldn't say this is the old Connor. He says it's like a brand new Connor. So, and it definitely came off that way because he definitely had some of his usual little things and sayings that he said recently, but also with a very positive mindset. He said he hadn't had a drink past 3 to 4 months, I think, which apparently is something he said he did a little more frequently before the Khabib fight. Now, who knows what exactly happened? Could maybe he's using it as a slight excuse. But if that's in fact true, then I mean it does seem like he's really turned some things around and refocused. Now, Cowboy, on the other hand, he had an interview with Brett Okamoto for ESPN, and like I said, he's still just coming off the same old way. He's I'm sure he recognizes that Connor is such a huge opponent, big payday. He knows what can happen, especially, I mean, just getting the fight alone changes the life of his. But if he could beat him and get the win, well, that just like the sky's the limit at that point. So I thought they both came off really well. It's a nice little break from the feuding and the trash talk.
Well, it is obvious once Conor did accept that Mayweather fight, he was making a lot of money. He didn't have to come back to the UFC and take the Khabib fight. But I think from there he felt invincible. He was a different person. He thought nothing could stop him. Even though he did lose to Mayweather, the Khabib fight did present itself. He knew he could capitalize on making a lot of money taking that fight. And I don't think he trained that hard from his previous fights that he trained for. He probably thought he'll go in there, counter him, catch him with a left hook, and put him down. He knew Khabib was a good wrestler, but he didn't think Khabib would have that power to be able to take him down like he did in the second round. So Conor did party during the training camp. He took him lightly, and this setback I think was good for him. Aside from the allegations that he had going on, a lot of people thought maybe this will play a mental part into this fight, but I think he's in the right mindset. He's back with his coaches. He's training. His business. He put his business a little bit aside. I think he's in the right mindset for this fight, but I feel like a lot of people are counting out Cerrone, not giving him the respect that he deserves, because he's a very dangerous fighter, and he's coming into this fight with a good mindset as well. There's no trash talk. It's all respectful. So usually in these situations, Cerrone does shine, and statistics do show that he does prevail in these fight situations where there's not that much trash talking. And I think it's a lot closer than it looks like, and just saying Conor will win easily.
Right, and just because you hear Conor saying things like something along the lines of this could be like some of the best he's felt in a while, or his coach is saying he's looking better than ever. A lot of cliches. Um, it's still hard to believe it. I mean, yeah, it sounds good. Everything seems good, but he's going to have to show it in this fight Saturday and also beyond to, I think, for everyone to really truly see that, he's back where he should be and on his way to potentially, do some bigger things and maybe eventually get another title shot down the road. We'll see, but he definitely shouldn't be taking Cowboy lightly. I don't think he is. Cowboy is definitely a dangerous fighter in his own right. All right. So that being said, I thought here maybe we could start with some predictions. We'll kind of just work our way from the bottom. Really, just when you're talking about the notable fights. So first up, got Andre Fili against Sodiq Yusuff, the featherweight division. How do you see that playing out?
It's a good fight. It's really a pick'em fight. You have Andre Fili coming on off of a 2-fight win streak. It should have been a 5-fight win streak. Theoretically, he lost in a split decision to Michael Johnson. A little controversial, but Andre Fili is the type of fighter. He had some a win and a loss, 2 wins in a row, then a loss. A little bit inconsistent, but finally on a 2-fight win streak. You have Sodiq Yusuff, 4-0 in UFC, a young prospect. He's a very good striker, good takedown defense. I think it's going to be a fast-paced fight. I do think Sodiq Yusuff has the edge on this fight. I would say probably in the second round he's going to catch him. I think he's going to catch him with an uppercut. It's going to be a second-round TKO. I think Sodiq Yusuff is going to go on 5-fight win streak in the UFC. And I think he's gonna tear it up in the featherweight division. They need some new light in that division, and I think he's a rising star.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Andre Fili, he has been pretty impressive. Like you said, he probably should have more of a streak going on. He's and he's really, I mean, his losses have come to some quality guys. So, I mean, I think this potentially could be a fight of the night. Like you said, fast paced. But yeah, Yusuff, he's got some big momentum going on. He's dangerous. He's fast. He's pretty precise with his punches. If anything, I mean, if Fili wants maybe a chance at winning, if he's going to win, I think he can try to incorporate some wrestling to try to slow him down, try to slow down Yusuff. But yeah, I agree. I think I see Yusuff stopping the fight with a TKO or KO sooner rather than later. All right. Next up, yeah, Macy Barber against Roxanne Modafferi, the strawweight division.
This is a good fight. This is a veteran versus a prospect. You have Roxanne, who's been in this game for quite some time. She in the UFC, she's been a little bit inconsistent, but I can't count her out. She beat Valentina Shevchenko. I think, was it Valentina? Am I making a mistake? Yeah. Am I making a mistake with her sister?
Yeah, no, it was Antonina. Yeah.
Antonina.
Yeah.
Okay. So quite. Yes, Antonina Shevchenko, and she's a dangerous striker. And she was able to take her down, control her on the ground, and beat her in the decision. But however, with Macy Barber, she is 21 years old. Sky's the limit. 4-fight win streak in the UFC, all TKOs with that. I do think in this fight, I see Macy Barber pulling it out. I want to say it's going to be a first round knockout. Um, I think Macy's going to be too fast for her. I feel like Roxanne's going to be extra cautious, which that's going to hurt her in the fight.
Yeah, and by the way, I misspoke. It's at a flyweight. I said strawweight. This is the flyweight.
Flyweight.
Um, and yeah, you know what though, it's pretty crazy because I think a lot of people are expecting like an automatic win for Macy Barber, which I understand. I mean, she's very exciting. She's very aggressive. Um, she's quick. She's fast. Uh, but I think last I checked, Roxanne Modafferi was like a plus 620 underdog, which is pretty crazy. I mean, like it makes you think maybe just put $10 on her and you can make like a decent amount of your money back.
If she could catch her in the clinch and wrestle her and control her, then yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
She can her grappling or her you know, she's not the most exciting. She doesn't hit very hard. You know, she won't necessarily yeah, she's not some kind of highlight reel with her hands. But she can still be very dangerous. And with that being said, Macy Barber has an aggressive style. She goes in, she strikes, very exciting, like I said. So Roxanne could potentially catch her and, you know, do what she does. Maybe even potentially grind out a decision. But I agree. I'm going with Macy Barber as well. I think she's gonna get it done with her aggressive style, get a TKO, and end it the first couple rounds.
And with this fight, if she does win against Roxanne, I think her next opponent is going to be someone ranked in the higher rankings, and it should position herself. By the end of the year, if she keeps winning, we might see a potential title challenger against Shevchenko.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's 8-0 right now. If she wins, she'll be 9-0. Taking out a vet. I mean, she's headlining the prelims. Yeah, she's definitely on her way to a title shot by the end of the year.
Maybe Paige Van Zandt's next.
Maybe.
Hopefully, if she accepts.
If she accepts it. I mean, it doesn't seem like she really wants to fight her, but that would be a big fight. I think a lot of eyes would be on that fight. Also, maybe
main event.
Yeah, definitely. You can put that on a fight night. You know, Macy Barber's only, I think she's 21 years old, and she said she wants to be the youngest champion. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So we'll see. All right, next we got getting the main card, Diego Ferreira and Anthony Showtime Pettis. In the lightweight division. What are your thoughts on this one's going down?
Now this is a very good fight. It's going to show me where Anthony Pettis stands. Ever since he lost to Rafael Dos Anjos, he's 4-6. He's been inconsistent. There were some fights where you would watch him, you would think his confidence is down. It's like he didn't belong in that fight. It's like he didn't want to be there. And then there were some fights, even though he lost, it showed that he showed heart with Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier. Those were fight of the nights. He is coming off a loss against Nate Diaz. That was a really good fight. And then you have Ferreira, who is a dangerous striker. He is on a 5-fight winning streak. His only 2 losses were against Dariush and Poirier. You know, there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
So in this fight, the way I see it, the way Pettis could win this fight, he has to keep the pressure. He has to kick, punch. He has to make Ferreira keep moving. He can't stop. For Ferreira, however, you want Pettis to approach you. You want to get him against the fence. Um, and you want to try to take him down as well. Now, Pettis does have good good submission defense. His submissions are actually his way of defending himself on the ground as well. He could catch you with a guillotine. He could catch you with an arm He could catch you with an arm triangle. Catch you with an arm bar. But I do think experience pays off in this fight. I do see Pettis winning a decision. I think it's gonna be a fight of the night. And I do see Pettis pulling this off by decision.
Yeah, this was also another one. One of the other fights I was thinking could potentially be fight of the night. It's tough. I mean, like you were saying, Diego Ferreira, he's really hot right now, coming up with that big winning streak. And I think, yeah, for him to come through with this with a win, he's definitely going to have to slow down Pettis. Pettis has good movement. He's fast. He uses his kicks really well, the body kicks, and he's got just overall pretty unorthodox striking. So I think Ferreira's best bet is to try to just slow that down, get a hold of him, like you said, maybe bring him down to the ground. But also, Pettis, he's really good off his back. He almost he just welcomes it. If he can't do his thing on his feet, and he gets taken down, he's one of the most comfortable fighters off his back. So yeah, with that being said, I'm also going with Pettis. I think Ferreira has I just don't think he's quite at that level yet. I think he's getting there, but Pettis, he's seen a lot. He's jumping back and forth between welterweight and lightweight lately, doing and like you were saying too, with his losses, especially lately. I mean, he's looked as good in the loss as anybody has, and unfortunately, in those losses, he's gotten hurt. So you could say, he's that's really unfortunately put a damper on his fighting style because he's gotten injured in a couple of those losses. But even still, he's looked pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna say Pettis. I still don't think it'll go to a decision. I think he'll end the fight. I'm gonna go back and forth. I actually think he'll end the fight with a TKO in the third round. All right. So next up we have Claudia Gadelha and Alexa Grasso. That's the strawweight fight. I think that is. Yeah. So how do you see that going?
This is gonna be a good fight. With Claudia Gadelha, she switched training camps. She did train with Jose Aldo's camp. Then she switched to Greg Jackson's camp, where John Jones trains, and now she's training here in New Jersey with Frankie Edgar's team, with Mark Henry.
Okay, you just told everyone where we are.
Whatever.
No, they're gonna find us.
But that being said, I do think switching camps and being with Mark Henry will pay off. I think this is her second fight with him now, I believe. She is coming off of a win in July against Ronda Marcos. And I do think we'll see a motivated Claudia Gadelha, expect takedowns. She's going to grind her through. I mean, if you look back at the fight against Jessica Andrade, she was winning she was winning the first round, and then all of a sudden she just gassed out, and Andrade just took over. But in the first round, when I was watching that fight, I thought, oh, this is going to be another win for Claudia. She's going to grind her out. But I do think she's got her head cleared now. She's in a good position. I think she found a good training camp. Um, and with Alexa Grasso, she's a good striker. She is coming off of a loss against Carla Esparza, who is a great wrestler. And that's where I do see Claudia Gadelha winning the fight with wrestling. It's going to be a decision. She's going to take her down, just grind her out throughout the whole fight. And I do see Claudia winning by unanimous decision.
It's funny. So far, we're agreeing on everything. I agree. I think we're gonna get the win too. Yeah, yeah. Grasso, she's a really good striker. Um, Unfortunately, I think it seems like she's not good off her back. Um, she also, yeah, she had that, like I said, that loss against Esparza last, which was a little controversial. A lot of people thought she came out with the win. Um, so, it's very fortunate for her to actually come back and face someone like Gadelha because still, obviously a very big name, former title challenger. Um, but yeah, I do think Gadelha, might be just too much for her. I think the key for her is she's got to, like you said, take her down, wear her down, keep her on her back, and I think she'll be able to do just fine with that. I also think she'll just grind it out. It'll come to a decision. She'll win by decision. Um, Grasso, I mean, the only chance she's got is like just to implement her striking, maybe early, hurt her. But yeah, I think Claudia Gadelha, she's got the experience. I think she's got better training, and I also think she gets the win by decision. All right, next fight go into is the co-main event. Holly Holm against Raquel Pennington in the women's bantamweight division. What say you here? How's this going?
Well, this is a rematch. This was Holly Holm's debut fight when she first entered the UFC, and
Right.
she won by split decision. Many did think that Raquel won that fight. It was a very close fight. Um, Holly is coming off of a loss from Amanda Nunes in the title fight. Second round knockout, I believe, right? Was it second round? Second round knockout. And Raquel Pennington is coming off of a win, I believe, over Adriana Idina. Um, but what this is it's an interesting fight. It's going to show how where Holly's head is at. I do think I'm gonna go with Raquel Pennington in this fight. I feel that she's gonna be a lot more smarter. She's gonna take her time. She's gonna let Holly come to her and use the jab to counter her. Um, and I do think it's gonna be a second round knockout by Raquel Pennington in this fight.
Oh well. Okay. By the way, it was the end of the first round.
End of first. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, fairly quick. So yeah, yeah, like you said, it was a rematch. This this took some time to think. I mean, you really got a couple different fighters here. You got Holm. She's a great kickboxer. Really, her movement is nonstop. She's known for just hopping all around, moving all around. She implements her striking very well. Um, not that she's crap like grappling or anything, but it's just obviously it's not her strong suit. for Pennington to come in and win, I think she just needs to slow that down, grapple a little, or get in the clinch against the cage with her. Use that and pretty much just grind it out. This could potentially be actually a very boring fight. And once again, I picked Pennington. I actually did pick Pennington. I wasn't sure. Like I had to think about that for a second. Like, am I really picking against Holly Holm? But Pennington shows, it takes a lot to put her away. As she's shown before, she's got a lot of heart. She's tough as hell. So I just imagine her just grinding it out for 3 rounds. I actually see her winning a decision, and getting a actually pretty decisive, surprising victory.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. With this win, it will definitely move her up the rankings, and she'll be closer possibly for another rematch, maybe with Nunez, if she could.
It actually shows whoever wins this fight, if they're impressive enough, they could easily just get another shot, even though they both have had their title shots. There isn't too much going on, so they could potentially get another shot at the title if they're impressive. All right, so that, of course, leads us to the main event. Notorious Conor McGregor against Donald Cowboy Cerrone, fighting at welterweight. What's going to go on here?
It is a welterweight fight, but I call it the non-cutting lightweight fight. Yeah. Both of them don't even have to cut weight. Conor is going to come in, most likely weigh in just underneath the welterweight limit, probably 168, I want to say. 167, 168. He did put on some muscle. At first, I was thinking, is this going to backfire on him when he fought Diaz? He put on muscle. He thought, he could win this fight easily, and then he gassed in the second round, and it was submitted. For Cerrone, he walks around as a welterweight. He doesn't really have to cut that much weight.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a really good fight. You have Cerrone who has nasty leg kicks. He hits hard. He could take you down. He could submit you. And I know that Conor will not be stupid and go for a takedown, because if he goes for that takedown, Cerrone's gonna counter him and take him to the ground and submit him. But I do see Conor playing this smart. It's gonna be a fun fight. I think it's gonna go back and forth. I think in the first round they're gonna have each other's respect. We're gonna see some taunts, handshakes between them two, and then I think in the second round it's gonna pick up. With that being said, I'm gonna go with my pick. Hold on, I'm gonna show you who I pick. And I'm picking the winner of this fight. We're going with Red Panty Night. And I think Conor's going to win in the third round by TKO. And then he's going to call out Jorge Masvidal. And then we're going to see this fight in March. If Conor doesn't take too much damage, that's going to be the main event. Conor versus Masvidal, March.
All right. Yeah, this definitely took some thinking too. Took some time thinking about this one. Now, in that interview that I referred to earlier with Cowboy and Brett Okamoto, ESPN, Brett Okamoto did ask him if he planned on taking him down. And Cowboy said something along the lines of, I know I probably should, but I don't wanna. And no, who knows if I mean, it doesn't seem very Cowboy like to go for a takedown. He loves the fight. He loves to stand and bang. I think that's a big reason why Conor is fighting him in his comeback fight. He knows, he'll give him a fight, and then they'll go toe to toe. Now, with that being said, if Cowboy wants to win this fight, I do think maybe if it comes down to it, he could attempt some sort of takedown and getting on the ground. That, along with his, like you said, his leg kicks to the leg, to the body. He's a great striker. He's definitely no slouch. I mean, he does not get enough credit. He's an extremely worthy opponent. But if you know Cowboy, you just know it's not his style to want to take things to the ground and slow it down. He's a dog. He's a fighter. He as he says, he wants to blow the roof off that motherfucker over there in Vegas. So I can't imagine he would do that. So, and Conor, we've been told that Conor's cardio has improved. We know he's very calculated, precise. He's with his striking, with his movement, he's very smart. So if it's gonna be that way, the way I think, the way Cowboy is making it come out to be, it does seem like I do think that Conor will win by a knockout, either I'm gonna say second or third round. I can't imagine it would have to be early enough in the fight. If it goes in the later rounds, I would imagine Cowboy would be winning, just because Conor, hasn't showed the best cardio going in late before. But you never know. Maybe, like I said, maybe things have changed. I just would imagine though that like you said, they will fill each other out. They'll have some respect towards each other, and by the time the second, third round comes around, it'll be fireworks, and it'll be fun to watch. All right, that's it. That's our picks. Can't wait for the fights. Thanks anybody who's watching, whether it's two of you or 200, who knows? But thanks for checking us out. Please, we accept all criticism and opinions. We'll see you next time. Enjoy it.
See you on the flippity flop.